Sunday, April 7th. I think it's the 7th. Kind of get my days lost here. But I am sick and tired of the cold. So I camped last night, and it got down to, I think, like 25 or 26 degrees. And I have the gear for like those types of conditions, but it just doesn't get any easier trying to get up and at 'em, like out of the tent in your nice toasty warm sleeping bag out into the chilliness in the morning. So I set an unrealistic goal for myself anyways. So I wanted to get up at like 5:30 this morning, and I think I finally got out of bed at freaking 7:30. And like an hour and a half of that was just like sitting there because I was immobilized because I didn't want to get up and just go step out in the cold. The bright side is that we are only headed south from here, and I think we're going to experience some spring-like temperatures today even, which is going to be awesome. I think it might be like 50s or 60s, and we're headed down to the Smokies down in Tennessee, and we'll be pretty high up elevation-wise, but I still think it's going to be nice. The sun's shining, which I haven't really seen that in the last like freaking 3 months. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good now that it's warm. Workouts are going to be good. Hikes are going to be a little bit more fun. So nothing but positivity to look forward to. As for the plan today, it's going to be a busy one. So I'm headed to a Starbucks now. I think we're going to Wytheville, Virginia. That'll be the first stop of the day. I just got to get charged up. Like my electronics are on their last leg of battery life, and we're going to be camping again the next couple of days. Campground called LeConte in the national park. I think that's going to be pretty bare bones. I don't think there's going to be water or electricity, so we can tough it for a couple of days, and if the weather's nice, it really won't be a problem. But just want to make sure we're all rigged up for whatever challenges we come across. So we'll get some work done too at the Starbucks. I usually like to go to local coffee shops. I know what I'm going to get at Starbucks, and honestly, I just need outlets. You can't always rely on new places for charging needs. We'll do that. After that, we'll find a place to get a workout in. Today is our push day, and that's my favorite workout with the equipment that I have. I'm just the most well-equipped to do chest, triceps, and shoulders. So looking forward to that. I'm guessing it'll just be a rest stop somewhere, so that'll be fun. And then we will find a place to get groceries a little ways out from the campgrounds, and then we'll set up. So a lot to do in a short amount of time, but I think we will be able to manage. This should be a good episode, if you want to call it, because the eclipse that everybody is raving about is going to be tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to put this video out, but I will probably be at the top of Mount LeConte, which will be really cool. I'm hoping to get some footage of that at the top of the peak. So that's something to look forward to, and I just like this park anyways. It's one of the most visited, but I'm hoping to avoid some of the crowds, being that today's a Sunday, tomorrow's a Monday. We'll just have to see. I don't think the days really matter too much with these national parks. They're just tourist destinations in general, so they will always have their crowds, and people will always be visiting. About 30 more minutes to Starbucks. I'll head there, get some work done, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're at a nice little rest stop. Do not have much time at all. I really took my sweet time at Starbucks, and I made a pit stop at Sheetz as well. So it's like 3:30 right now. We still have like 2 hours to get to the campsite. So We also have to grocery shop too, so I gotta be quick. Maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. I'll film a few sets, but no commentary for the workout. So I'll catch you guys later. I'm cracking up. This day has just been kind of nuts. So I went to a rest stop to set up for a workout, and it was rather frowned upon. Security came out and said I'm a liability, and that was a little disheartening, but I cooperated and packed up and got my stuff out of there. I guess I'll just have to be aware of that moving forward, and just public places. Like, I guess people aren't too fond of a dude just lifting weights in public spaces, but it's something that we're just going to have to deal with. I ended up finding a school that was maybe 20 minutes down the throughway, and today's Sunday, so it worked out pretty well. Nobody was there to come yell at me or come get me. I actually had a pretty good workout, made it super quick. It was maybe 45 minutes, and that's just going to be the reality of it. Is, it's not always going to work out, but I'm not going to sacrifice something I love for other people. That was the afternoon. We are in a pretty big pinch right now. So it's about 6:30. Got about an hour and a half of daylight left, and we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from the campsite. So really going to be pushing it in terms of darkness and getting set up. And I don't think the office is open, so check-in's going to be kind of a nightmare. Maybe I'll just have to figure that out tomorrow and go from there. But I guess this is what I sign up for, just the chaos and the variables and all things unexpected. I'm having fun. Hopefully I don't get too burnt out just on the road every couple of days, but man, let's just keep going with it. I'll see you in a little bit. Quick little Publix run. I am really pushing my luck right now in time. Made it to camp. Gonna set up really quick, and it's gonna be a quick night. It is just about pitch black, and yeah, not much else to do other than just set up and get prepared for the morning. It is so much nicer than the last couple of days. It's like 55, and this doesn't suck, so this is good. But let's keep going. About ready to get settled in for the night. I'm just having a little snack, and I'm gonna hit the hay. It's only like 9 o'clock too. There's no cell service here, and I forgot a book, so I'm out of luck to keep myself occupied here. But tomorrow's plan, gonna hike Mount LeConte. It's a pretty big one, 11 miles. I think it's like 3,000 feet of elevation. I've done it before, and I kind of have a funny story with it. So the first time I did it, I was coming back up from a trip to Florida, and I had only packed for Florida with my nice warm clothing, I guess lightweight clothing, I should say, clothing for warm weather, you know what I mean? It was like springtime, maybe like late March, kind of high up in the mountains here, and they get winter. I was staying in Asheville and headed over to the national park, and it was like maybe 15-20 degrees, and I had a pair of sweatpants, a sweatshirt, and luckily I had a down vest to wear, and then just sneakers. But it was kind of brutal being underprepared like that. One, it was freezing, and then all of like the second half of the trail was like frozen solid from ice, because there was like runoff and all of it just froze. And I remember people turning back, and they were like, you should probably go back too, like it's kind of dangerous. And I was like, I'm only here for one day. I can't not. And I did end up making it to the top, and I think I had a few tumbles, but no injuries, which was good. Hopefully it's not like that tomorrow. I don't think so after a nice 65, 70 degree day today. Excited to hit it again. It's gonna be a killer. So definitely gonna get our steps in, and we'll see how we feel afterwards. Can you guess what time it is? It's not when we were supposed to wake up, that's for sure. It's 8:30. I keep saying I want to wake up at like 5:30 or 6 a.m. for these adventures, and something always seems to happen. The last place at New River Gorge, it was freezing, 20s and 30s degrees, and I just didn't want to get out of the tent. Last night, there were just animals going after each other. I think maybe a few birds, like coyotes, but all hours of the night, I just kept hearing like barking and tweeting. It was just, yeah, did not get any sleep last night, to say the least. But that's okay. Nothing a little coffee can't fix. And I actually just had a really nice conversation with one of the park rangers here. He's an older guy, and we just got into conversation about the eclipse and, you know, life experiences, funny enough. So he's a guy who's been to all the national parks, and that was like a mission of his. And he was just saying like, man, if I was your age, I'd be doing the exact same thing. So it was just really assuring to hear that from somebody in, you know, their later years, because he's like, yeah, you know, when I was your age, like, the American dream seemed to be, you know, like the best option for sure. Like, you know, you get the house with the white picket fence, have the kids as soon as possible. And in today's world, that's just not really a thing. And I mean, I think a lot of it is just like the finances. Like, it's not as feasible as it used to be. So people are realizing that and just like figuring out what they want to do sooner in life, which I think a lot of people obviously want to travel. So he noticed that and just called me out on it. So that was cool. Hopefully we can get rolling here in the next like 30 minutes or so. I think it's like 40 minutes to the trailhead. It's kind of a hike to get down there, and it's a popular one, so I'm guessing the parking lot's going to be pretty full. So we'll finish this cup of coffee, probably make some eggs here, and we'll get down there. Tell you what, I'm freaking cruising. I'm just pass. This is how I used to hike before I started filming. I'm doing this just because we're in a bit of a time crunch. I want to catch the eclipse when we're at the top of the peak. I think that'd be sick. I'm also familiar with the trail, and it's fun seeing like what you remember and what you don't. I mean, it's familiar so far. I'm sure once we get closer to the top, it's going to be a lot different. But I guess I'll catch my breath because that probably sounded awful. We're getting there. Starting to see some ice, which that tells me that we're getting pretty close to the top. I'm thinking it might be a good, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees cooler at the top, especially if the wind's blowing too. But we'll keep trekking. I can't be the only one who thinks this,
trail law states that you have to say hi to everybody that you pass. I've been passing quite a few people just looking away and not saying hi. I say hi to everybody. I feel like it's just something you have to do. What do you think? Finally in the home stretch, there's like probably 2.5 miles where you just kind of go straight up, and that's a killer. So finally on some flat ground. We'll probably go another maybe half a mile here. I'll be at the top. So I also got some news that they sell t-shirts up here, which I think is hysterical. A park ranger was saying that when I was at the visitor center. So it brought my wallet in case I do want to get a shirt. I'm curious to see what's on them. So we'll see what that looks like. Well, what do you think? Made it up here. Got a pretty cool view. And we got the whole freaking place to ourselves. This is awesome. There were some people a little bit earlier, but as soon as I got up here, they took off. I think the elevation above sea level is just under 7,000. I could be wrong, but we're up here, and like I was thinking, it's probably like 30 or 40 degrees, and on the way up here, it was like 50s and 60s the entire way. I don't know what people's plans are for the eclipse. I mean, it's super cloudy. I don't even know if we'll be able to see anything up here. Maybe it'll just get a little bit darker. I feel like something is supposed to happen, though, with it. Like, there's been so much buildup with the eclipse, like that the power grid would go out, or like, I don't know, there would be some sort of apocalypse. Obviously, I hope that doesn't happen, but it just seems like the possibility with all the hype behind this. We'll warm up here. We'll warm up, try to warm up, have our snack, and probably be on our merry way. Might fly down the mountain. The descent is not going to be that exciting, so we'll see you when we get back down there. Dude, I'm exhausted. So after I got back down from the mountain, I basically debated on getting to another destination, which is Klingman's Dome. And the last time I was here, I did not get to see it. And that's actually the highest point in the park. And I think I mentioned that, or said that Mount LeConte was. That's not true. Klingman's Dome is the place that's like just under 7,000 feet of elevation. So it was raining at that time too. So like the way down, I was getting a little wet, and I was like, dude, I don't know. But I just said screw it and took a chance and went up there, and it turned out to be awesome. So the sun came out, and like everything turned out great. And it was like 5 o'clock at that point too. So like I was like in a time pinch as well. So you can see that it's like pitch black out. It was worth it. So I'm glad I went up there. So you get 360 views of the park, and the mountain range was just stunning. And I actually found a place to get a workout in up there, which was pretty sweet as well. And I filmed it like portrait mode instead of long ways. So to all the people who use iPhones to like film these videos, is there a solution to, I guess, not having to worry about which way you film? Because I like posting on social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, so you have to do it the portrait mode way, or else you get the black bars. And YouTube, you have to do long ways because people tilt their phones, and I don't know, it's just kind of annoying. So I did the full workout portrait mode. So maybe there's a way to put it into the video, but it was a cool spot. Like you could see the entire mountain range, and I did a back workout. again, very limited for the back movements that I can do, like with the equipment that I have. And then I did some bicep movements too. But it was awesome. And I literally had people stop and get out of their cars and take pictures of me, which I thought was hysterical. And I'm at the point now where I just embrace all of that. If people want to make fun of me, go for it. Like I could care less. I don't need to waste my time and energy on what other people think of me. I always go back to this. So Alex Hormozy is a guy I really enjoy listening to. He's very smart, and he always says, like, I'm going to die, you're going to die. Anybody who's ever been associated with you or anybody is going to die. Like, we are such a small speck in the universe that nothing we actually do actually matters. And when you think about things like that, like your concern of what other people think just goes away. I've really grasped onto that mindset, and it just makes things so much easier. I'd hate to waste my time not doing exactly what I want to do in life. Life's too short, man, and that's going to be a common theme of this channel, just going back to doing what you want to do, because you'd hate to be old and gray and think about all the things you wish you would have done instead of, actually fulfilling out your dreams and your goals and just, living life, man. Good little trip here to the Smokies. It was a fun one, probably the most exciting one yet. So I'm going to be excited to put this one together. So I guess we'll end it here, and I'll see you guys at the next one.